Most travelers have no idea how much they're doing wrong at the airport. One mistake at security, one symbol on your boarding pass, or one banned item in your bag, and your entire trip can go sideways. But it doesn't have to. These are 15 insider airport secrets that experienced flyers know, secrets that can save you time, money, and serious headaches. And at the end, I'll reveal one rare tip pilots use themselves that could completely change how you fly. Let's get started. The gate opens, the line starts forming, and most people rush to be first in line. But veteran travelers, they hang back. Boarding last comes with some underrated perks. You spend less time standing in a cramped aisle, less time packed into the plane breathing recycled air, and you get a clearer path to your seat. There's just one exception. If you're carrying a big bag and want overhead bin space, you might want to board earlier. Otherwise, your carry-on might end up 3 rows behind you. But if you travel light and don't love waiting, skip the stampede and stroll on last. Cool, calm, and carry-on ready. If turbulence makes your palms sweat, where you sit matters more than you think. The smoothest ride on the plane is right over the wings. Why? That's the aircraft's center of gravity. Less bounce, less sway, more stability. The front and rear of the cabin feel every little shake. The wings, though, much steadier. Even pilots will tell you it's the calmest place to sit. So if you're a nervous flyer, skip the nose, skip the tail, and aim for the middle. You might still feel a bump or two, but it won't feel like a roller coaster. And hey, you'll be closer to the snacks. Your flight's over. You've landed, grabbed your bag, and you toss your boarding pass into the nearest trash can. Big mistake. That little slip of paper holds a surprising amount of personal info. Your name, frequent flyer number, booking reference, even future travel details in some cases. Someone with bad intentions could scan the barcode, change your seat, cancel upcoming flights, or worse. Pilots know this. Frequent flyers know this. That's why they never leave one behind. The smart move? Take it home and run it through a shredder. Because airport security doesn't stop at the gate, and your data deserves protection too. Okay, so glance down at your boarding pass. See the letters SSS stamped on it? That's not just random. It actually stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection. Translation? You've been flagged for extra screening. Sometimes it's totally random, but certain behaviors can raise red flags, like buying a one-way ticket, paying in cash, or booking at the last minute. You might be pulled aside, asked extra questions, and have your bag torn apart like it's a piñata. And it's not always those 4 letters. Sometimes it's a checkerboard pattern or some special symbols. So if you spot something unusual on your pass, don't panic. But maybe don't expect a quick walk through security either. Ever wonder why airplane meals taste off? It's not just the food, it's you. At cruising altitude, the cabin is pressurized in a way that actually dulls your ability to taste sweet and salty flavors by up to 30%. So even if the food is decent on the ground, it can seem bland and kind of rubbery in the air. That's why catering companies add extra salt, spices, and seasoning. And here's a bonus tip. Noise-canceling headphones may actually help. Reducing background engine noise seems to improve taste perception. Science hasn't totally cracked why, but frequent flyers know less noise, better bites. So maybe it's not the chicken's fault after all. Ever notice that almost every plane seat is blue? It's not a coincidence. Blue is psychologically calming, perfect for nervous flyers gripping their armrests before takeoff. It helps reduce anxiety, keeps passengers mellow, and supposedly even lowers the odds of in-flight meltdowns. But that's not the only reason. Dark blue hides dirt, stains, and scuff marks better than almost any other color. With hundreds of people cycling through those seats daily, airlines aren't just thinking about style, they're thinking about cleanup and cost. So next time you settle into that navy blue cushion, remember, it's not for looks, it's for your nerves and their budget. Ever notice how airplane bathroom doors always stay shut during takeoff and landing? That's no accident. Flight attendants flip a hidden switch before the plane moves. It locks the lavatory from the outside, preventing it from flying open when it shouldn't. But here's the twist. They can also unlock it from the outside just as easily. All they have to do is lift the lavatory sign, slide a small knob underneath, and the door pops right open, no matter who's inside. It's there for emergencies, and for when someone's been in there a little too long. So yes, privacy exists, but on planes, it comes with a reset switch. Turbulence feels intense, but most pilots barely blink when it happens. What actually gets their attention? Updrafts. These invisible vertical air currents can push an aircraft upward fast and hard, like hitting a speed bump at 500 miles per hour. Unlike turbulence, updrafts can launch a plane to altitudes it shouldn't reach. Worse, pilots can't always see them coming, especially at night or in storms. So while turbulence may rattle your cup of coffee, updrafts can actually mess with flight control. They're rare, but when they hit, even the most seasoned pilot sits up straighter. So next time you feel a shake, relax. If it were serious, your pilot wouldn't be so calm. You can't see it, but modern planes are constantly talking, not to each other, but to a special onboard system. It's called TSAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System. If another aircraft gets within 10 miles, a voice calmly announces, "Traffic, traffic." In the cockpit, get within 5 miles, and it issues direct commands. Climb, descend, turn left. The pilots follow it immediately, no questions asked. This system acts faster than air traffic control and works even when radio contact is spotty. So while you're enjoying pretzels in a movie, your plane is actively dodging sky traffic at 600 miles an hour. You don't notice it, because the system makes sure you never have to. Ding 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 beep boop. Those little sounds you hear during your flight, they're not random. They're a coded language for the crew. One ding after takeoff usually means the landing gear is up. 3 dings in a row? That signals something urgent. A high-low chime means a crew member is needed elsewhere. And 3 low chimes? Buckle up. Serious turbulence ahead. That's the crew's cue to stop service, stash the carts, and strap in. It's how they communicate without using the intercom. So next time you hear a mysterious tone overhead, just know the flight attendants probably understood it perfectly. And if it's 3 low dings, maybe tighten that seatbelt. You might be served pasta, but your pilot? Something else entirely. Pilots and co-pilots are required to eat different meals. It's not a perk, it's a precaution. If one meal causes food poisoning, the other pilot stays in control. Even if they want the same dish, they're not allowed to eat it at the same time. One eats first, the other waits a few hours, just in case. And many pilots skip the catered meals altogether and bring food from home. Not because they're picky, because they've seen too much. So if you ever wondered why their tray looks different, it's not luxury. It's flight safety, with a side of caution. You'd think the dirtiest place on a plane is the toilet seat. Nope, not even close. Flight attendants say the real germ hotspots are the things you actually touch. Seatbelt buckles, tray tables, seat pockets, and especially the headrests. That's right, the place where everyone leans their head. Between tight flight schedules and short cleaning windows, headrests almost never get disinfected between flights. One study found that nearly a third of seatbelts had yeast and mold on them. So bring sanitizing wipes. Wipe down everything, because the bathroom might smell worse, but your seat might actually be grosser. You're sitting at the gate, and the captain announces they're just finishing up some paperwork. Sounds like they're signing off a few forms, right? Not exactly. That paperwork includes checking the flight logbook, revising the flight plan, confirming weather reports, and double-checking safety protocols with the ground crew. It's not just paperwork, it's the final green light for takeoff. Pilots take this seriously because once they're airborne, there's no going back to fix an overlooked detail. So next time you hear that line, don't roll your eyes. They're not stalling. They're making sure everything's exactly right. Ever wonder how the cabin crew stays so alert on a 10-hour flight? Here's the secret. They have their own hidden bedrooms. On long-haul aircraft, there's a private crew rest area tucked either above the main cabin or in the rear of the plane. It's not fancy, but it works. Usually a narrow hallway with 6 to 10 bunk beds, just big enough to stretch out and get some rest. Crew members rotate nap breaks while passengers sleep, so there's always someone fresh and ready to handle emergencies. You'll probably never see it, but that quiet, efficient service mid-flight? Yeah, they just woke up from a nap to bring you that ginger ale. Plane windows weren't always round. In the early days of commercial aviation, they were square. And that was a serious problem. Pressure would build up in the sharp corners during flight, creating weak points that could crack under stress. And tragically, a few did. That's why modern airplane windows are curved, a design that evenly distributes cabin pressure. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about safety. Round windows can handle the repeated stress of high altitudes without failing mid-flight. So next time you're gazing out at the clouds, remember, those smooth edges are keeping everything together. Literally. Packed everything perfectly, only to have TSA pull you aside and dig through your bag? It might be because of one item, your magic 8-ball. No joke. It looks innocent, but that little novelty toy contains liquid, and security agents can't tell how much. That puts it in the same category as snow globes, gel insoles, and even certain types of cheese. If it's soft, sloshy, or sealed in mystery plastic, expect it to raise questions. The 3.4-ounce liquid rule doesn't just apply to water bottles. It includes perfume, nail polish, and even your holiday snow globe souvenir. So when in doubt, check it, ship it, or leave it. Because nothing ruins a flight like losing your cheese and your 8-ball.